The collision. The grand ballroom of the Imperial Crown Hotel glittered with 1,000 points of light, and Serena Walsh felt like she might collapse from exhaustion at any moment. She had been on her feet for 14 hours straight, coordinating every detail of the Worthington Foundation charity gala. Her black dress was wrinkled, her feet screamed in protest against her heels, and she was running on nothing but coffee and sheer determination. "Just 2 more hours," she told herself, weaving through the crowd with a tray of champagne flutes balanced perfectly on her palm. 2 more hours, and you can go home, pay the electric bill, and figure out how to afford Mom's next round of chemotherapy. The thought of her mother lying in that hospital bed, pale and weak, made Serena's chest tighten, but she couldn't think about that now. She had a job to do, and she desperately needed to keep it. She was navigating past a cluster of evening gowns and tuxedos when someone stepped backward without warning. Serena tried to adjust, but her exhausted reflexes were too slow. The tray tilted, and 6 glasses of Dom Perignon cascaded directly onto the back of the man in front of her. Time seemed to stop. The man turned slowly, champagne dripping from his shoulders, and Serena's stomach dropped to her feet. She recognized that face immediately. Gabriel Stone, tech billionaire, venture capitalist, and, according to Forbes, one of the most ruthless businessmen under 40. His steel blue eyes were currently fixed on her with an expression that could freeze fire. "Oh God," Serena breathed, her hands shaking as she set down the empty tray. "I am so sorry, sir. Please let me help." Gabriel's jaw was carved from granite as he assessed the damage to his custom suit. The champagne had soaked through the expensive fabric, creating dark patches across his broad shoulders. Around them, conversations halted, heads turned. Everyone in the ballroom seemed to hold their breath. The hotel manager materialized out of nowhere, his face sheet white. "Mr. Stone, I cannot apologize enough," he sputtered. "This employee will be dismissed immediately, and we will, of course, cover all dry cleaning costs." "What's your name?" Gabriel's voice cut through the manager's panic like a blade through silk. He wasn't looking at the manager. He was looking at Serena. "Serena Walsh, sir." She forced herself to meet his gaze, refusing to look away despite every instinct screaming at her to run. Her pride wouldn't allow her to cower, even though her entire livelihood was crumbling before her eyes. "How long have you worked here, Serena Walsh?" 3 years, she straightened her spine, trying to ignore the way her voice wanted to shake. "And in those 3 years, I have maintained a perfect record. Tonight, I'm coordinating an event with 400 guests, managing 15 vendors, and operating on 4 hours of sleep in 3 days because my mother is in the hospital and I need this job to pay her medical bills. What happened was an accident caused by exhaustion and someone stepping into my path, but the responsibility is mine, and I accept the consequences." The words tumbled out before she could stop them, honesty born of exhaustion and desperation. She expected anger, expected to be escorted out by security. Instead, something unexpected flickered across Gabriel's face. Interest. "Leave us," he said quietly, but with such authority that everyone within earshot immediately scattered. The hotel manager hesitated, then fled. Even Gabriel's business associates melted into the crowd, leaving Serena alone with the man whose evening she had just ruined. Gabriel shrugged out of his soaked jacket and draped it over a nearby chair. He loosened his tie with deliberate movements, and Serena tried very hard not to notice the way his shirt clung to his frame or how the simple action made her traitorous pulse quicken. "You have courage," he said finally. "Most people grovel when they make mistakes. You stood there and told me exactly why it happened and why it matters. Because lying seemed pointless, and because I'm too tired to be anything but honest." The corner of Gabriel's mouth twitched, almost a smile. "When did you eat last?" The question caught her off guard. "I had coffee at noon." "Coffee is not food." Gabriel pulled out his phone and typed something quickly. "Sit down before you fall down." "I need to get back to work." Serena glanced toward the ballroom where the gala continued without her. "There are still 3 hours left, and I'm responsible for making sure everything runs smoothly." "I'm sure your staff can handle it for 30 minutes, Gabriel gestured to a chair. "Consider it an order from someone whose suit you just baptized in champagne." Despite everything, Serena felt a laugh bubble up in her throat. She was probably delirious from exhaustion, but something about Gabriel Stone's dry delivery made the situation almost absurd. She sank into the chair, and the relief of getting off her feet was almost overwhelming. Gabriel sat across from her, studying her face with an intensity that made her squirm. "You said your mother is in the hospital?" "Breast cancer," Serena said quietly. "Stage 3. She's been fighting it for 8 months now. The treatments are working, but they're expensive, and insurance only covers part of it." "What about your father?" "Not in the picture. Hasn't been since I was 12. "Siblings?" "Just me." Serena met his gaze. "Which is why I can't lose this job. I know spilling champagne on you was unforgivable, but I'm asking you to please not have me fired. I'll work double shifts to make up for it. I'll pay for the suit myself, even if it takes me a year." Gabriel was quiet for a long moment. A server appeared with a plate of food and set it in front of Serena. She stared at it in confusion until she realized Gabriel must have ordered it for her. "Eat," he commanded, "and then we're going to talk about your future." Serena picked up a fork with shaking hands, suddenly aware that she was starving. She took a bite of the salmon, and it was the most delicious thing she had tasted in weeks. Gabriel watched her eat with an unreadable expression. "You're wasted as an event coordinator," he said finally. Serena nearly choked on her food. "Excuse me? You clearly have exceptional organizational skills. You can handle pressure, and you're honest even when lying would benefit you. Those are rare qualities." Gabriel leaned forward slightly. "I have a proposition for you." "What kind of proposition?" Serena set down her fork, suspicion warring with curiosity. "I need a personal assistant, someone intelligent, capable, and unimpressed by wealth or status. Someone who will tell me the truth even when it's uncomfortable." He paused. "The position pays $200,000 a year, plus benefits, including comprehensive health insurance." Serena's fork clattered to her plate. "You're offering me a job after I dumped champagne all over you?" "Because you dumped champagne on me," Gabriel corrected. "You showed me exactly who you are under pressure. Most people in this room would have fallen apart or made excuses. You took responsibility and fought for what matters to you. That's what I need." "This is insane," Serena whispered. "You don't even know me." "I know enough." Gabriel pulled out a business card and slid it across the table. "Think about it. My contact information is there. If you're interested, call my office tomorrow and we'll discuss details." Serena stared at the card like it might bite her. $200,000 would change everything. Her mother's treatment, their apartment, the crushing weight of debt that kept her awake at night. It was too good to be true, which meant it probably was. "What's the catch?" she asked. "No catch. Just hard work, long hours, and a boss who demands excellence." Gabriel stood, retrieving his ruined jacket. "Oh, and you'll probably want to invest in comfortable shoes. I don't believe in sitting down much." Despite everything, Serena smiled. "I'll consider it." "Do more than consider," Gabriel said, his blue eyes holding hers with an intensity that made her breath catch. "I don't make offers like this often. Don't waste it." He walked away, leaving Serena sitting alone with an empty plate, a business card, and the strangest feeling that her entire life had just shifted on its axis. Around her, the gala continued in full swing. Music played, people laughed, champagne flowed, and Serena Walsh, exhausted event coordinator with a dying mother and impossible dreams, stared at the business card in her hand and wondered if miracles. Love emerges.
Gabriel arranged for Serena's mother to receive an experimental treatment that wasn't covered by insurance. When Serena discovered the cost, she confronted him in his office. "This is too much," she said, holding the treatment invoice. "Gabriel, this is over $500,000. "It's an investment in someone important to me," he replied calmly. "Your assistant's mother." "No." Gabriel stood and walked around his desk. "The mother of the woman I'm in love with." Serena's breath caught. "What?" "I love you," Gabriel said simply. "I've been fighting it for months because you work for me and I didn't want to complicate things. But that night at the hospital, watching you be so strong while falling apart, I realized I couldn't pretend anymore."
"Gabriel,"
Serena whispered. "You can tell me it's inappropriate. You can tell me we should keep things professional. But I needed you to know." He stepped closer. "You've changed everything for me, Serena. You've made me want to be better, softer, more human. I love you." Serena closed the distance between them and kissed him. It was everything their almost kiss had promised and more. Gentle and desperate and perfect. When they broke apart, both were breathing hard. "I love you too," she said. "So much it terrifies me." They began dating in secret, stealing moments between meetings, late nights in his office that became about more than work. Gabriel was tender and passionate, treating Serena like she was precious. Their romance deepened alongside their professional partnership. Then Vanessa appeared. Gabriel's ex-girlfriend, beautiful and cunning, determined to win him back. She spread rumors that Serena was using Gabriel for money, that she had manipulated him with sob stories about her sick mother. The board members began questioning Gabriel's judgment. One evening, Vanessa cornered Serena in the office. "You're out of your league," she said coldly. "Gabriel needs someone from his world, not some charity case playing dress-up." Serena held her ground. "Gabriel can make his own choices." "Can he?" Vanessa smiled cruelly. "Or have you manipulated him so well he doesn't even realize it?" Fighting for forever. The board called an emergency meeting to discuss Gabriel's leadership. Vanessa had threatened to expose his relationship with Serena as proof of poor judgment. Serena sat in Gabriel's office, her stomach in knots. "I should resign," she said quietly. "This is hurting you and the company. I won't be the reason you lose everything you've built." "Absolutely not." Gabriel's voice was steel. "I'm not losing you because some people can't accept that I've fallen in love. The board won't approve." "Then they can find a new CEO." Gabriel pulled her close. "You're more important than any company, any reputation, any amount of money. Don't you understand that yet?" At the board meeting, Gabriel stood before the executives and laid everything out. "Yes, I'm in a relationship with Serena Walsh. Yes, she started as my employee. But she's also the most brilliant, capable, honest person I've ever met. She's made me a better leader because she challenges me to be more than just ruthless. She reminds me that business is about people, not just profit." The board members exchanged glances. Gabriel's grandmother, who held the controlling shares, spoke up. "You're asking us to approve a relationship that could be seen as a conflict of interest." "I'm not asking for approval," Gabriel said calmly. "I'm informing you. And I'm also announcing that I've asked Serena to marry me." Gasps rippled through the room. Serena's eyes widened. She hadn't known he was going to do this. Gabriel turned to Serena, pulling a ring box from his pocket. "Serena Walsh, you've changed my entire world. You've taught me that love is worth more than any business deal, that vulnerability is strength, not weakness. Will you marry me?" Through tears, Serena said yes. 6 months later, they married in a small ceremony. Serena's mother, healthy and glowing from successful treatment, walked her daughter down the aisle. Gabriel cried when he saw Serena in her dress, and she cried too as they exchanged vows. "I promise to love you when you're strong and hold you when you fall apart," Gabriel said, his voice thick with emotion. "You saved me, Serena. Now let me spend forever returning the favor." "You already have," Serena whispered, touching his face. "Every single day you show me what real love looks like." As they kissed, surrounded by everyone who mattered, Serena thought back to that night she had spilled champagne all over a stranger. She had been exhausted, desperate, and terrified. Now she was loved, supported, and building a future with a man who had seen her at her worst and loved her anyway. Sometimes the worst moments lead to the best beginnings. And sometimes falling apart in someone's arms is exactly how you find your way home.